Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. This video is going to be a very special video. I'm very excited, just ready to put this content out because I found this synergy really cool. Now, the synergy on screen at the moment is the one that I used, and this is all about Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a damage over time debuff champion, especially if you're looking to the process of throwing SP1s and SP2s respectively. In the synergy setup, it would have been better for me to use Cable in order to kind of get the process of prowess buffs or the genetic code, I think it's genetic code, kind of like up to at least 4 very quickly. So basically just win for three times. If you win 3 times, you get up to 4. It means your prowess buffs are going to do more damage, but the process is quicker if you use Cable. However, though, I was planning to go and do the entirety of Realm of Legends, and so it didn't really, it sort of made sense, but sort of didn't. But yeah, if you want to see some big yellow numbers and big debuff numbers and a whole plethora of damage, then stay tuned to this video. I'm going to explain why. It all starts with Jabari Panther. Jabari Panther is a good champion. I don't know if we're going to be one that's going to rotate in my roster. I've got a lot of champions, so it's going to be a case of going, what's going to be unique for me, unique selling point, and what's going to be specific that I'm going to need it for. But I'm sure I'll find a need, want, and desire. Now, this is the synergy here. Gain a precision buff during special attacks for each damage over time debuff and stagger passive on the opponent, each increasing critical rating by 375. That's actually really handy, and it's not just about Apocalypse. There are some other options that will benefit from this, and it's good to know that there's kind of like that particular synergy out there. I think I'd be quite excited to use the likes of Archangel in this one, but it didn't really kind of cross my mind because this is about Apocalypse and some amazing damage. So also in the mix, I've got Strife, and Strife will have activating special 1 or 2 increases the potency of personal burst damage by plus 25%. This can stack up to 300% max on the damage. Now, would it have been best to kind of like utilize a different synergy for this, or kind of like look in game to kind of play it to a degree of trying to put more debuffs on? Possibly, but I think that I got to a certain point, especially when I got to Hulk, where I kind of like really blitzed a lot of damage, and you're going to see some good numbers in a minute. Also, I've put in Professor X and Storm Pyramid X, which just benefits some or complements some other types of synergies in there, and essentially we're just looking to ramp up and improve the damage. Other champions could have done in order to give the more kind of like damage appeal, but it's not really about that. This is really about the Jabari Panther synergy because it's the new one and it's looking to ramp up stuff. I think without further ado, let's just kind of talk some processes, talk about what synergies I'm using, what masteries I'm using, and other stuff like that. So let's roll some footage, shall we? Legs old, yes, legs old, everybody, legs old, and less gold, everybody. So we've got here the fight with Winter Soldier and Apocalypse. FYI, I just said that. If you turn up to the live streams, you'll know exactly what that means. Shout out to the people that come out and support. But yeah, right, Winter Soldier fight. First of all, the limitations is that I don't have enough prowess off in order to get this kind of like done quickly, because that's the main thing. If I had Cable, at least the process of building those 4 is very important. You can see the numbers on the burst damage. It's only about 2k. The reason for this is that if I was throwing an SP1 and I had 4 of the prowess buffs off, or kind of 4 of the persistent charges, it would mean that I'll be able to get myself the weakness and poison buff at the same time, and the same thing with the degen and concussion debuff at the same time. So I think did I say just buff? Anyway, the 4 different debuffs by doing the different special attacks, SP1 and SP2. Also, I made a mistake here and I got clips, but it's not the end of the world. Rocking Suicide Masteries, I put up a bleed immunity very quickly. Very handy. Very, very efficient as well for the kind of the interaction. And I think suicides do play a factor into like huge damage dealing, which, you know, I do enjoy a nice Suicide Mastery build, which I think is what I'm going to do. Is on the CCP beta, I'm going to run suicides, and then on the main one, I run non-suicides. I think it just gives a perspective. There's a lot more times I would run non-suicides on my main account rather than on here. In any case, I throw an SP3, not really advisable, but it's just kind of like showcasing a few things. If you want to permanently get these debuffs on, do it. It does limit, it's good like if you don't want to have the recoil damage, just throw SP3s each time. So yeah, that's a thing. Here we go, you can see the first thing there with the SP1, SP2, they've got the precision buff up, but that's going to be something we're going to go in a little bit more detail now. A bit further on, and I thought, right, we're up to the 4 prowess, which I wanted to showcase, because it's going to be when you're going to start seeing the better damage. And yes, every time I'm going to throw a special attack, if there is a debuff on the enemy, I think it's you'll start seeing it. Now at the point of going, when I throw a special attack, you'll see 2 of the debuffs. And I went straight for the SP2. Is it advisable? Possibly. If you time it in well and you do your evade, you can actually get that precision buff. So at least you're going to got from the dexterity popping up at the same time. So there's a bit of it's nice to see that. So yeah, right. I've got to go and throw. I'm doing a lot of times kind of like make sure to do parry heavy and then throw there. So there we go. Throw down there with the precision buff and boom there. And if I had another opportunity, so there was more damage to be had, then yeah, I think I'd probably gain a lot more of the precision buffs. Either way, like it's all good. The damage is nice. The burst damage is just insanely good. I think actually I only need to throw out like 1 SP1 as a result of here, and I'm trying the best I can to time this in, especially because I need to like throw SP1, boom there. 4 precision buffs pop up, and it's just a nice damage. Not the best damage, but you're going to see like the extent of it in a minute. More so when we get to the Hulk fight. But I haven't totaled the damage that I actually do for the Wolverine fight. I have for the last fight, or the last little bit of the damage. So that's going to be cool to see what I'm going to be able to achieve. I'm going to throw the SP2 in a second and see some nice damage. 3 precision buffs are up. And yeah, just like, it's some good damage. Not many crits. I was a bit disappointed with that. But the last match, or the last kind of like showcase of footage, which I've got a slow-mo of coming up with the Hulk one, just showcases that. But still, it's like, it is good damage. So I'm not kind of like annoyed about it. The regen is something to look out for. Like, as soon as the champion starts regenning Wolverine, it's like, oh dear. But let's go with this. I'll go parry heavy, trying to do some like bleed debuffs, and I kind of like just feel like, oh right, okay, let's try it again. Just get some bleed debuffs on, just to extend the amount, and just waiting for this champion just to like make the mistake and do the thing. 4 precision buffs up, good amount of damage. Not the best though. We're gonna see the best damage now, and I'm gonna be enjoying this. So in fast motion, going into the SP2 of Hulk, I think taking out nearly 30% of damage. Ooh, damn, that's a lot of damage. That's got to be slow-mo down, just going to get an idea. So the SP2, lots of debuffs on, and only this time, 3 precision buffs are up. But we get the crits, and that's the main thing. We're getting the crits. 12k, 12k, 13k, and hit for 19k, and then final hit for 19k. I've totaled that damage together, and it's absolutely nutty. Especially this is now a version of a rank 3 6-star, but it's so nice to see this kind of damage. So what was the damage? Well, I've kind of calculated. I kind of went by frame and kind of got together the following. So the numbers are, with all that added together, nearly 160,000 damage. If you include some of the little kind of bits of bleed ticks, then that would definitely be that. But it's a combination of the burst damage, the precision buffs from the Jabari Panther synergy, and a few other bits as well, and as well the prowess buffs that are kind of like helping out. 160k damage off the back of an SP2. It's pretty impressive. It's a pretty nice amount, and that is, by the time I started to when I finished, I did rank 3 that Apocalypse, and I do want to do that on the main server down the line. But yeah, it's some nice numbers for this suicide setup version of this champion. I personally don't know if this is the most ideal setup, especially because it doesn't cover a broad spectrum of things, from like nullifying effects, from just coverage of certain things of class, because let's face it, that's all mutant at the end of the day. And I just don't think that gives the greatest coverage. Even saying like, okay, if we bring in Cable, it's going to be beneficial to then build up to the quicker process of damage dealing through the means of debuffs, and henceforth with prowess, because you know, if you the more kind of persistent you are, or the more persistent, it means you're easier to get the debuffs when you throw the special attacks. But as well, the problem is when you have suicide masteries, and I would say that's a thing as well. If the kind of push is to do SP1s and SP2s, you will recoil damage, and it just may not be that effective for you when it comes to doing this. So I think just take this as more of an exhibition type thing, but definitely if you've got Jabari Panther and as well Apocalypse at the same time, all the others in the team could probably be like not there, and still you'd be packing a punch with your Apocalypse, and then you'll have very nice front end damage. So yeah, I mean, a team, you could just like take out that, 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 and at least to say that you have got a solid team. If you then put in a little bit of stagger, a little bit of double immunity, and as well something else that would just interact well, and just something else. I mean, you could even with that particular setup then put in a cap to then have a little bit further with that. So yeah, cap Infinity War may not be a bad shout with kind of going like, okay, well that's leadership taken care of, and that 200 signature cap Infinity War can be a really good team to take on a lot of different content, especially when you're looking at stuff with Act 6, Act 7, and various monthly type stuff, unless you're doing paths that require it. So yeah, really cool. I really enjoyed making this video. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure as well to check out some other content recently posted there. I've probably got like a video of like how to get 6-star in this month's side event and a few other things as well. So some cool content's being put out, so go and check it out and support the channel. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye.